a little while back, saw that you'd posted that your account had been hacked essentially, and that you went to go see how much money was going to be transferred, and it didn't show anything, right? Can you tell us a little bit about that story?
Yeah, actually, what happened was is I woke up on May 23rd and I got a notification from Seller Central saying that my account had been suspended. And I was like looking at it and trying to think of, well, okay, what has happened recently? I moved into a new home. I changed my email address because my internet provider didn't provide out here. And then I also had given someone permission, a new person permission on my back end of Seller Central. Could it have been the combination of those two? My credit card was stolen a few months before that, so I changed the credit card information. Maybe that seemed suspicious, so I contacted the seller, Seller Central and Seller Performance, and I just, bullet pointed, hey, I know all these things have happened, but honestly, it's me. You might think it's been with all the different things that have gone on Amazon. You might think that it's someone else hacking into my account, and then I didn't get any response, and I was completely locked out of my account. I couldn't even sign in, which was
Mm.
crazy, which
Yeah.
is very frustrating. So for 2 days, I couldn't log into my own account, and I couldn't get anybody on Seller Performance to respond. So I ended up just desperately reading a bunch of threads of, I think all I had to do was put in account hack, um, and then some stuff came up about money going to different countries like Croatia. And so I was able to get into my account through my office manager's because she wasn't locked out. So I got on there and was looking at the settings, and I was able to talk to someone at Seller Central, and they said, well, did you do anything recently? Like, did you click on any strange links? And I said, no, nothing with like a viral type link. And they said, did you change your banking information? And I said, no. Did you change your email? No. So I went into the settings because I had access to her account, and sure enough, I looked at the settings, and the bank account information was changed to a bank in Croatia,
Mm.
which I didn't do. And so I looked at the other settings as far as the email, the notification where it tells you your banking information has been changed. And that was changed, but just one letter.
Mm.
So the email looked exactly the same, but it had an extra, letter in it. And so that's why I didn't get the notification. So then I immediately called them back and explained, hey, I think it was really a hack. And they told me I had to contact the seller performance team, which I did, didn't get any response. And then I started just feverishly reading a bunch of threads and found that it had happened to dozens of other people,
Yeah.
and way before me. I mean, there was a couple of people that it was like a year and a half ago. And then there was several people that would happen in April of 2016 and a couple in May, like myself. And I just couldn't believe that there wasn't some sort of, not only just a safety measure in place by Amazon, but just, an alert to tell everyone to check your banking information, make sure your email notifications haven't been changed even by one letter, because everyone involved in the in the fraud, the story was the same. The
Mm.
email was changed first for the notification, then the banking information was changed. And so I wanted to find out, well, do we get our money back? That was the thing I was panicking about because it was $44,000.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm rounding up a little bit, but it was like,
43. Yeah, I have 43,742 and 60
yeah,
cents.
yeah,
Wow, that's a lot of money to be
that's
missing.
a lot of money. And so, you have people you have to pay and you have suppliers. And so I wasn't
Yeah.
getting a whole lot of sleep. I was just trying to figure out, well, gosh, if I can just find a thread where someone says you get your money back, I'll be able to rest easier. So on the fourth day, I finally did get my access to my account. I guess they had it shut down or they had it frozen so they could investigate the fraud. And they told me that, to make sure I had the two-step verification, which I did, by the way. But there's a good chance that the fraud happened before the two-step
Prior.
verification because it
Hmm.
was right around the same time. So I had access to my account again, but just being shut down for 4 days, I mean, that took us from like page one to like page three, when we got listed back up. So
Hmm.
that was like kind of depressing. Um, but uh, but I did find a thread where there was a couple from Florida, and they had only had $16,000 hacked, but they said they got theirs back after 3 weeks. So I was like, well, that sounds promising. You know, I can wait a month if I have to. And then she told me about, well, actually before that, let me go back a little bit. I I had heard that you could just email Jeff Bezos, right? Jeff at
Right.
Amazon.com, and I'm like, I wonder if that works. So I emailed him, and of course he didn't answer, but I did get a response from a guy who works for his team, on his team, and he said that he was going to escalate the problem, escalate the whatever, them looking into it, and he'll get back with me when he knows more. And then meanwhile, I connected with this woman in Florida, and she gave me another email, and her name is like Susan H at Amazon.com, and she's helped people get out of the fraud situations. So I emailed her, and then she didn't answer me back right away, but she answered me back like a week later and said that, hey, I looked into your case, and my colleague is looking into it, and you know, the amount that it is, there's a lot of people that have to sign off on that amount. So just hold tight, and we'll get back with you when we can. So that was like 8 weeks ago. And then on July 3rd, meanwhile, I was still reading the threads and seeing that it was still happening. And that's kind of when I made contact with you and said, hey, let people know they need to be checking their banking information, their preferences as far as their, make sure there's not just one letter off, because you won't notice it, the print's so small. And so I just slept a little better knowing that the money was going to come back, but I had also read it could take up to 4 to 5 months, which could be really, you know, painful, because that's when you get all your holiday stuff bought, you know, way before October. But I did hear about someone June 11th that got $500,000 hacked out of their account to a bank in Croatia. And I can't believe something hadn't been done, you know, based on my experience and probably hundreds of others. So, so I did get an email from the same person. His name is James, really, really nice guy. And he said, hey, I just want to let you know, and I think I sent you a screenshot. I was really excited. He said, we got the money, the funds, they're going to be dispersed into your account on your next disbursement, which was yesterday.
Nice. So you saw it. It's in there.
It's in there.
All right.
For more information, insider tools, and to get the resources mentioned in this episode, visit ampmpodcast.com.